Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. First off, I wanted to say hello to anybody who may not have actually seen any of my videos before, so this might be a little bit of a weird one for you. Probably not the best one to start with, but I also wanted to say a really big hello to everybody that I've really missed over these last months. All my lovely subscribers who always commented, those of you who have sent me messages since I've been gone, or well wishes, and just all the lovely things. I want to thank you all, and I'm really pleased to see you. I say that obviously in a loose term here, but it does feel like, you know, I'm talking to friends, and I have missed you all while I've been gone. But what I wanted to do was do a little video about why I've been gone for so long, and just kind of talk to you a little bit about maybe the future as well. So I know I don't owe anybody explanations, but I kind of feel like when you're on social media and you have to disappear for a while, whether it be for any kind of reason, I don't think people owe me an explanation, but I always find it nice to just, you know, have an update, or, you know, make sure someone is okay and all those kind of things. I personally like that for the people that I watch. And I have had some lovely messages from some of you guys. You know, you're all just amazing. And I just feel like I wanted to just do a little bit of an update, and see how I feel about filming as well. It's been such a long time. I mean, I don't know how long it's been. I think it's been like 7 or 8 months. And so much has been going on. So much has changed and then not changed at the same time. I don't know how I felt about filming again either. I've kind of got out of it because it was hard for me to get into in the first place, because I hate being in front of a camera, funnily enough. So it was really hard for me in the beginning. And now I feel like I've got that anxiety back about getting in front of a camera again. You know, and then obviously, like, when things have changed, like my health hasn't been good, I've put on some weight, like all those things, then going in front of the camera is not very comfortable. But again, you know, I've missed you guys and I wanted to do something. So I really don't know where to start. I can't remember sort of like where I left it off. Obviously, those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know that I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and we had struggled after that for quite some time. And it kind of all goes back to that kind of time, really. We lost my dad. Things were very, very difficult for a long time with all of us. Then we lost our dog just under a year later, or just over a year later. And that was really hard to take. That was the first pet we'd lost. He was our special boy. That really took it out of all of us. And my mental health was I won't say very bad, but it wasn't very good for a while after all of those things going on. Bear in mind, there was so much going on health-wise. There was stuff going on with the kids, which I'm not going to talk too much about my kids. You know, it's not for me to go into depth about things. There's some things I will brush on because it just gives a bit of context, but I certainly won't be going into all the ins and outs. You know, I don't really share a lot about my children on this channel, just relevant things. So there was just so much going on, so that took some time. When I had my break from YouTube, we knew that we were going to have to move, and we were given like a 2 to 6 month kind of time frame, roughly. And it was quite stressful because obviously, as a disabled person, it was very hard for me to pack. And I wanted to declutter my whole house, even though I had been doing it the year before and I decluttered a lot. I wanted to really declutter like everything, start fresh with just things that, you know, mean a lot to us and things that we need, practical things. So there was a lot of decluttering to do. There was a lot of packing to do. But we realised we couldn't pack a lot because we still used an awful lot of things, obviously kitchen appliances, things for the kitchen, but also even just down to bedding and towels and clothes. And I don't think you realise like how much stuff you actually use day to day or week to week. So we packed and we had nowhere to put boxes, so we were surrounded by boxes. during that time, my mum and stepdad then moved. So they needed some help packing their house. That was a very stressful time. That also took about 2 or 3 months longer than it should have. It should have been a very simple move, and it was it was very stressful for them, which then became stressful for me. I had a lot of worries about them and how they were doing physically with all the stress. Bear in mind, my stepdad is in his 80s, so I had those concerns. So that was a very stressful 4-5 months in amongst all that time where we thought we were moving. As it happens, we have not moved. If you've been here before, you may recognise this backdrop. We're still here, which is even more stressful because we haven't found anywhere to live, and we've gone back to the start of the process again. And again, I don't want to go into too much details because obviously, this is my children's life and home. In that time, my youngest decided to go to a new school. So if you don't know much, my youngest has a physical disability as well as autism and ADHD and anxiety and all those things, and had been out of school for quite some time. So I'd been home educating that child for a few years just to try and help them build up physically and get ready to go to school. So we found a school that we thought would work for them. So then there was the process of going through the application, because it's not like a regular school where you just apply and you get a place when there's a place. There's like a whole interview process to go through. You do or don't get a place, they can say no. So there was interviews to go through. Also had to physically get them ready to go, which meant lots of physio, like more than they were doing before, but like extra physio, trying to keep on top of obviously schooling as well as all the things to get them physically and emotionally ready to go to a new school. So that was very challenging and took months and months of our time just to try and get ready. So we weren't sure whether they would go to that school or not, and whether they would even get a place. So, and at first, they said no, because they didn't think they could meet my child's needs. So I had to fight that decision as well, so it was something else to do. So anyway, during all that time, I decided to have some therapy because I felt like I needed it. So I was going to therapy during that time as well, which I really found helped a lot. It really helped put some things to bed that have been bothering me. It helped me deal with my grief and move on a little bit more. And just took a lot of like those stresses. Everything I was stressing about was like literally everything in the whole world. It felt like all that stress was on my shoulders. So it really, really helped with that. So I had that for a few months, kind of beginning to the middle of this year, all at this kind of time. Like everything just kind of happened at once. And this was why I decided to stop filming, because we were obviously packing the kitchen and that was where I was filming my videos. For a long time, I had no space to like dish up properly. Where I used to do my meals of the week, I'd dish up, you'd see what we're eating. Had no space to do that. We couldn't eat at the table properly because we had things going on the table all the time and off the table, and it just felt like we just gave up using the table. So then I couldn't film my shopping hauls. That became a problem. Then it was stressing me out, and then it got to the point where I didn't want to meal prep anymore and I didn't want to eat anymore. I was just too stressed. I didn't fancy anything. Like, if you don't know, I've got a whole host of allergies, so finding food I actually can eat is very difficult, and everything more or less needs to be cooked from scratch. There's only a few things I can eat that are, more convenient style foods. So it became a huge ag. Like I've been like, my fatigue has been through the roof. My pain obviously has not been great either. Obviously with stress levels, and there was just all this other stuff health-wise going on as well. Had been in and out of hospital with certain things going on. So all of that just made it really, really difficult. And that's why I decided to stop filming for the time being, because I couldn't do it how I usually did. I couldn't find a better way to do it. It was stressing me out too much, and I just felt like there was no point, absolutely no point, and that I'd take a break and we'd move in a few months and I could come back and do it. That was my plan. But here we are, months and months later. We're still here. We are surrounded by boxes. Like, I hate being in this house right now because there's nowhere to put the boxes. I can't put them in storage because it costs so much money. But I can't unpack because we don't know when we're going to go, and we might have quite short notice. So I'm looking at boxes now. Like, I'm in my front room. I've got a pile of packed boxes in my front room. I've got a pile of flat pack boxes in my room. Same goes for the hallway, same goes for the bedroom, same goes for the kitchen. They're literally spread out everywhere. And it just doesn't feel very homey anymore. But anyway, it is what it is. You know, hopefully we'll be ready when the time comes, and hopefully we'll find something suitable to go to. So anyway, with like the moving and all that stuff aside, I'd been having a lot of health problems, even more so than usual. So that had been very stressful as well. And then add in my child starting school in September. That has been very, very, very challenging. Luckily, it's a very supportive school, which is amazing. So we're making it work. But it has been challenging. It's been exhausting. So again, there was no energy again. I kind of thought, oh, when they go to school, I can do this and I can do that. And it just hasn't been the case up until probably about the last week or so. It's sort of taken that long to settle in. We're still on a part-time timetable, so it's not like I have a whole school day. So there was so much going on. And I wanted to wait until we moved and things were settled. And I could kind of go back to what I was doing, maybe find something else fun to do as well. Like, I don't know what kind of videos you're all watching. Have it changed? Are you still watching the same kind of content you've been watching for the last couple of years or few years? Or have you moved on to other things? I'm finding I'm barely watching YouTube these days. I either don't have the time or I'm just too tired. I haven't been watching the usual people that I used to watch, which I feel bad about because obviously I want to support those channels. I just haven't really had the chance. And when I have, I've wanted to watch something different. I think it was kind of hard watching the same content that I did, knowing I couldn't do it and I couldn't do a good job at it. It did hurt a little bit. So I think maybe that's why I kind of stopped watching some of that. For a little while, I was watching more like makeup content just because I could have that on in the background and it's distracting. And then more recently, I've started watching something else, but I'll tell you about that in a minute and why I'm watching it. Just trying to think. I did write myself a list of things that I wanted to just broach the subject of. Made myself some notes, if you like, and they're on my phone, which I'm filming on, so I can't see it right now, which is not helpful. But I think I've covered the gist of things. I think I've probably downplayed it quite a lot, but I don't want to moan. I don't want to come across as if I'm moaning. I don't want people to go, oh my God, this is just like a really annoying video because all she's doing is moaning about her life. So I think we're going to leave it with the moaning for now. But I just wanted to kind of give you some idea of where I'm at, why we've been what we've been. And it's been a challenging time. But I'm doing much better at the moment. Well, mentally anyway. Physically, I'm still broken, but mentally, I'm doing much better. I think the therapy really, really did help. And then we've also been quite busy because we've had some exciting news. My eldest is expecting a baby, so I'm going to be a nanny. So that's obviously been something that's sort of cheered us all up and given us something to look forward to and prepare for. So I don't know if like, because that's something I've been watching, is like, you know, baby kind of content. Just, you know, trying to get myself up to date with what's new since I had children. My youngest is nearly 15, so a lot, I'm sure, has changed in 15 years. And I just wanted to, you know, get some idea of how to help my daughter prepare for everything, and see what I can do to help and all those sorts of things. So yeah, I've been planning and preparing things like that. Obviously, there's not so much I can do until I move, which I hope happens and we've settled by the time the baby comes. Hopefully that is my plan. I really, really hope. If not, we'll just have to play it by ear, because obviously, you know, babies are amazing and it's an exciting thing to be happening to our family. We're all very excited. So yeah, I've got some ideas of things that I want to get for myself to have at my house to make life a bit easier for me and my health problems. So I've got myself a little list of things that I want to get and to have. So that's, you know, just like I said, giving me something to think about, something to prepare for, something to get ready for. So that's all exciting as well. So let me know if you would come back and start watching shopping hauls and stuff from me again. Like I said, I hadn't been meal prepping. We hadn't been eating properly. There was no point me showing you what we were eating. But I do need to get back to eating properly. And obviously meal prepping really, really does help. It's one of the reasons I started doing that on the channel, was because I realised how much it helped me. And in the beginning, I had a lot of people saying, you know, it really does help to meal prep. It helps financially. It helps, you know, with wastage of food, and also just knowing what you're going to have and not having to make that decision every day is helpful. I do get sick of it every now and again when I've done it for weeks or months on end without a break. I do get fed up with it, and sometimes I'm like, I'm just bored. I don't know what else to eat. But I also know that a lot of the problems are my own personal problems, and they're to do with food, which is to do with allergies. Like I said, it's just really, really hard to keep thinking of things when there's so many food groups I'm not allowed to eat. So that is very challenging. And then my child with autism has their own allergies as well, but food they won't eat or only will eat, so that makes it difficult, and it's usually things that I can't eat. So then that's like 2 meals, and it just gets there's no choice. I can't do anything about it. I can't change my child and I can't change me. Trust me, I've tried to change myself, but allergies are allergies. So you just got to do your best, which is what I'm going to get back to doing. Try and meal plan again. I've been going through some cookbooks and stuff, which I'm so glad I didn't pack all my cookbooks. I would have been really annoyed. And I kind of thought, because I nearly packed them, and then I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, yeah, but, you know, I'm still going to need some recipes, or I'm going to need some inspiration. Because what I've actually done is I went through every single cookbook I own, and I wrote down the name of everything I want to make with the page number, and I put them on pieces of paper, which I had laminated, so that I can just look through the list and try and find ideas and then go find the cookbook I want, rather than sitting down with multiple cookbooks, flicking through pages, trying to get an idea. So I did that, and that's worked really, really well, actually. I love those lists are stuck up on the side of my fridge. So I'll go and have a look and just see what grabs my fancy, really, sometimes. Or for the kids, if it's going to be something they'll eat that I don't. So that's worked really well. So I'm going to go back to meal planning as much as possible. And so our shops have changed quite considerably since like the last hauls. Where obviously, you know, I'm not meal prepping and I'm not knowing what we're going to have. I've really found it difficult to then order food. I'm like, well, what do we get? But I hadn't liked doing it like that. And I did find that I wasn't spending as much money. But then we were also struggling to actually find food in the house, obviously, because I'm not buying as much. And that hasn't worked wonderfully either. And I think actually, you know, we need to be going back to eating more and just having those plans in place. I also decided I want to start making things like bone broth, try and get my immune system back up. And obviously I want to make things for my eldest, try and help them out a little bit. She's very tired, obviously, and she's working full time. So that might be nice if some of the meals I can make for her and her partner as well, just to save them having to cook something every single night. Just if that can help them a little bit. So yeah, if you think you would watch some more of my shopping hauls, please let me know. I'm debating, do I come back and start doing this again, or actually have I left it too long and you lot have all started watching other stuff now, and it might not be relevant anymore. So I just wanted to kind of know what you'll think, and then I don't know, I'll take it from there, I suppose. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.